Imagine the body of a mech that could be attached with arms with these things on the end, and you saw this thing coming at you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the channel formerly known as ScrapMan. I know, don't freak out, guys, don't freak out. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on in a second, but first I want to let you know that we're about to look at some of the new blocks and features just introduced to the game, and some fun things I've experimented with so far. But before we get to that, let's have a quick chat about the channel name. You're probably asking, ScrapMan, what happened to your name? Why are you changing? Are you done with Scrap Mechanic? No! Well, calm down, please calm down, don't worry. No plans are changing content-wise on the channel. Scrap Mechanic is still 2 days a week minimum, and other games will be appearing on the channel here and there, just like I mentioned in previous videos. But I just wanted to communicate with you all and let you know exactly why I made this decision, and then we'll take a look at some of this fun stuff behind me. So, as I gain more subscribers and read your comments, it's become increasingly obvious that the name ScrapMan confused some people. It made them think that I have something to do with the development of the game, when in reality, I'm just a guy who likes to play games, and most of the time that's Scrap Mechanic, and sometimes it's other random games. So if I decide I'm going to treat YouTube as a full-time job and really focus on expanding my audience, I need a name that's less confusing to new subscribers. So I settled on ScrapMan, and here's why. It still has the word scrap, so there will be a sense of familiarity to all you loyal subs that have been there with me since the beginning. It allows me to keep the SM logo because of the scrap, the S in scrap and the M in man. And it's shorter, it's easier to pronounce, it's easier to spell, and it's just less confusing. So I think as far as continuing my professional YouTube career, having an identity on my channel that is more my own can really help me go a long way, and I hope you will be supportive in my efforts. So thanks again to those of you that have been here for so long, and to all you new subscribers as well. Now, let's go have some fun. A couple of the new blocks that we have here are support pillars. So these things, what I really like about these, if you notice by these bearings, they have a center point, which is really handy for when you want to do rotating objects, because that way they can rotate around a center and be evenly, the weight gets evenly distributed, so there's no issues with having spinning platforms like this. So I think this could allow for some really cool looking new rotating things. For instance, here's a taller pillar here, and this one uses the support pillar stand as well. And what I really like about the stand is it is also odd in dimension, so it has a center point for bearings and stuff, but it is also a little bit bigger. So if you notice, this is actually 5 blocks wide, whereas this is 7 blocks wide, which allows you to place things on the end kind of like this. So what I like about that is you can still attach stuff to this without getting in the way of the pillar. You can see there's space for it to still rotate. So that inspired me to do something over there, which you'll see in just a second. But I also noticed there's something that I am not happy with, though, with these support pillars, and that happens to be the fact that they're a little bit too high. They were almost perfect to be an extra thing to jump up and build underneath you to raise yourself really quick, but unfortunately you can't cover it with your height there. However, if you put one down, you can still jump on top of it, and you can put another one down, so it makes for a really fast staircase, which is what I did over here. And you can see we've gone all the way up with this staircase. And there's a pillow at the top, because this is also another new thing. You can now have pillows that you can color whatever you want. But yeah, so these things are good for making quick staircases. However, not good for making quick towers. You have to be able to get above it with something else in order to build up very high with these. Okay, so last thing I did with these was build these mech guns. At least that's what I saw in that. When I started building this pillar, I'm like, this looks like the barrel of a gun. So that's what I've done over here. Imagine the body of a mech that could be attached with arms with these things on the end, and you saw this thing coming at you. That would be something that I think would look really cool. So I don't know if I'm gonna build the mech or not. Maybe if I'll upload this gun to the workshop and you guys can feel free to download it and attach it to a huge mech or something. But if you notice, These little things are also new additions to the game. They're smaller pipe pieces and allowed me to build this frame around the support pillar barrel as well. And that's also thanks to the support base or the support stand having that extra block that allows it to not have that collision while it's spinning. If I turn it back on here, you can see that they do not collide even though they're attached to the same base. So I thought that was pretty handy. So let's take a look at another thing that I came up with these pipes. So quick look at the size of them compared to the other pipe. You can see that they're much, much thinner, which allows for some interesting things to happen. So for instance, this looks like it's pretty much a plus sign, right? But when it spins really fast, it creates kind of like an optical illusion, which I'm going to show you in just a second here. So the blue, the red, and the white will all show you a different shape when it spins. So check this out. So if you just focus on the blue, if you just look in the middle and focus on the blue, you can see a blue circle. Now if you look in the middle and focus on the red, you can see a star. And if you look in the middle and focus on the white, you see basically like a spiky X type thing, spokes. So I thought that was a pretty cool effect. It creates kind of like an optical illusion. I wonder how different speeds, if they look any different at all. Yeah, so it loses the illusion at this speed. You kind of get it a little bit at that speed. And this is where you get the full effect and fastest. Actually, that looks pretty cool too. All right, and the other thing that they've done is they've introduced what they call the path light block. Is that what it's called? Let's see. Yeah, path light block. So I actually didn't realize until recently that these are supposed to be lights, which I think is meant to be for something like this. If you have a little pathway, you can align it with light blocks along the pathway to kind of guide your eyes on where you're supposed to go. So that's kind of cool. They'll also make really cool like starry backgrounds almost. So yeah, last up is... Oh, I also made these little figure 8 things. Forgot about these. These things are kind of cool. You can see all the different pieces there that we have. The last thing is the tote block heads have a new setting called Dance. So I'm going to go ahead and set them back to the original sound, which was retro. And then I'm going to make a little beat here. And then I'm going to show you what the beat sounds like when you switch it back to dance. I can assign my little kick beat. All right, we got that going. All right, now we have a little chord here. All right, we're grooving. And now we need our higher little melody thing here. Here we go. All right, ready? So, this is what it sounded like with the old sounds. Now, in just a second, I'm gonna change it to the new sound. Are you ready? Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. So, how do you like that? I think these sounds are much more realistic and modern sounding, as if they were made by actual electronic synthesizers in today's day and age, rather than the old 80s quality sounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's mess with this one over here. I really like the bass sound, listen to that. It's really thick. I like the way that sounds. All right, we're gonna go ahead and mess around with this melody here. So yeah, that's pretty much about it as far as I know in the game. We got the pillows, we got the support pillars, we got the support bases, we got the new music blocks, and we got the pipe blocks and the path lights. And yeah, I think that's pretty much sums it up. So let me know what you guys think. I'm curious what everyone else is gonna be building with these kind of new blocks. I wonder if they're gonna come in handy for a lot of people, but I can already find a few cool uses for them. Well, thanks for watching. This has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. So we're gonna have to try to turn over onto the wrong side here. Of course, now that I want it to happen, it's probably not gonna work. Oh, I think we got it. Yeah, alright, so now it's gonna be in, look at this.